Hey guys, long time. But as you know, this is Zach. Say hi, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
And we are here to do a quarantine edition of What You Should Be Watching. In today's episode, we're going to talk about movies or series with long run times because, hey, the good portion of us have nothing to do. Zach, on the other hand, is a very essential person, so he still has to work. So we love you, Zach. You are one of
Yeah,
the good guys.
appreciate it.
Even
I'd rather
though
be in quarantine, to
I'm,
be honest.
I don't know, like today, I haven't done anything. Like I didn't
I know it sounds
clean.
great.
Yeah, I didn't do any yard work. I sat in a moping depression state for the good portion of it, and but I got a couple of videos
What? You
uploaded.
depressed?
Oh,
I can't believe this.
no, well, yeah, I went to the doctor. He told me I was fat again. Yeah, literally.
Doctors are so fucking cruel.
Uh, so, did I ever tell you that I went to this doctor and he like for a health checkup because my work's like, oh, you get a health checkup, we'll take off money off your insurance. I was like, yes, please. Uh, so I get up there and he like does all of his stuff and takes blood. I go back in for the checkup and he's like, man, you are extremely healthy except for the fact that you're overweight. I'm like, shouldn't that be like a blessing then? I'm extremely healthy against all the odds. Like,
You're still overweight, though. There's no
yeah.
excuse.
Yeah, like I go in today just to check up, do another checkup, and he's like, "Well, hey, now you have time to go for walks."
Yeah, I'll get right on that, Doc.
Yeah,
Thanks.
yeah. And the saddest part is he's not much thinner than me. Like he looks like maybe 260.
I'll
So he's
ask
like,
him to walk with you.
yeah, right. No.
Walk with me, doctor.
Yeah. Hold my hand. We'll go places. That'd be awkward.
Yeah,
Just I actually just have since we're in quarantine now though we can't be that close. It'd be like 6 feet apart, right? So I'll have to get
right.
like a broomstick and be like, okay, you hold the other end of the broomstick, and we'll like, you know,
Social distance.
yeah, yeah. So how are you handling the downfall of the United States of America?
As well as anybody, I guess. I mean, I'm right there in the forefront at working in retail. I mean, just walking in, you feel like you're in a fog most of the day. That first week was the worst with everyone panicking, but it's kind of calmed down a little bit. Um, there's really low traffic, which is nice because most people are home, and but like you said, since I'm essential, I've got to go into the stores and see all the chaos and empty shelves. It's pretty wild.
And where did you get your toilet paper?
We're good on toilet paper. I
Ugh.
mean, we had just gotten some before all this hit, so we're good.
I go to Sam's and I buy like a big pack, right? And I buy
Yeah,
that like once a month. Because that'll last me. Last everybody in my household about a month. And then like
right.
I had like three, no, I had four rolls left, and then the pandemic happened, and everybody bought up the toilet paper, and I was like, no,
Oh no.
no. So I had that talk with my daughters. I'm like, hey, try to conserve the toilet paper because there's
Yeah,
not much
she did
here.
a good try.
Yeah. So like I'm like, here's a washcloth. And it's quite sad that we had to go that route, but like literally, like people, like, ugh, people suck like horribly.
Yeah,
It is a ridiculous
I blame
situation.
the media.
Yeah, and you know what's even worse? Like right before this happened, I went and bought me a brand new chair. It's this new gaming chair I got right here.
I noticed that. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, $250. Respawn. If you're listening, Respawn, I will sponsor. That'd be fantastic. I'll. But yeah, like I bought it and I was like, man, this is gonna be great. And then like 2 weeks later, it was like, yeah, you're gonna be out of work for about a month. Oh, like man, I could have used that money from my credit card for something else.
Right.
But oh well, here we are. Here we are. So let's get started before we get on a tangent, but it doesn't really matter because everybody just likes
One good thing though is it brings us back to be able to do these videos, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, now I don't have to worry about different time things that are happening. That was my
Yeah.
biggest problem. Was like it was me. It was all me. Like
Oh,
having
I know.
time. Yeah, yeah. but but yeah, that was it. It was hard for me changing shifts all the time, and then the only time that I would have off to do these things would be, I would have lots of other stuff in my way. So I don't have that right now. Yay.
Hey,
But all right, quarantine movies with long run times or streamable television shows, something that we would watch for long periods of time while we sit on the couch eating chips that are probably too old and should have been thrown away, but we don't want to go out and buy anything new.
there's not any out there anyway.
Yeah,
You'd have to eat the old chips.
oof. Throw them in the microwave with a bowl of water.
Correct.
I, it works.
It worked. I know. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Makes
Well,
things unsafe.
you think that's bad? We tried to find some hamburger meat. You can't. Like
No.
legitly. Like we went to Walmart and they had a one person, one product per person on hamburger meat and ground turkey.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's how my luck has been in this quarantine. But I still got my water bill in the mail.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I still got all my bills coming in. Okay. Let's not get off onto it any too much more, else I'll get angry and depressed again, and I'll have to go sit in the corner. And so why don't we go with you first, Zach? As always, please, let's have a discussion.
Okay. Well, mine that I have picked out aren't in any particular order, so these aren't our usual 1 to 5. I did pick out 5, but I'm going to put a little more in there. You said long run times. Um, I don't necessarily have to have long run times, but the only thing I can think of with long run times and actually a long series is like Lord of the Rings, which is always good to. It's always good to binge watch,
Always.
even when you're on a quarantine.
Yes.
Um, yeah, TV shows. I mean, I've talked before about what I call entertainment overload. Um, there's just so much out there. I guess when you're in quarantine, you don't have anything else to worry about. Now would be a good time to get into some new shows, or
Yeah.
you can revisit a lot of old classic shows. I've seen a lot of people going back and watching old TV shows they like, Sopranos, and if you're in the sitcoms, Friends, and all that stuff. Of course, I'm going to go with Dallas.
Yep. Yep. Kind of knew that. Kind of knew that.
Yeah, but that's just the pick that I'm going to show for TV shows. Just any TV shows, Game of Thrones, Stranger Things, Walking Dead, whatever you're into. Um,
How many
as far as
seasons was Dallas in the end?
uh, 14 seasons, I believe.
And what would you say, like 10, 12 episodes apiece?
Yes.
That's not bad. That is not
Yeah. No,
bad.
it ran. It had a good run. Yeah. A little too long, actually, but
Didn't they Larry Hagman, didn't they kill off his character? No, they shot him, but they didn't kill him.
yeah, they shot him in the at the ending of the second season. Then the third season, we find out who done it.
Yeah.
It went on 14 seasons, and then there were 3 made-for-TV movies after that, and then of course we had the reboot show that came out in 2014. I was very excited about, but then Larry Hagman died, and they
Yeah.
couldn't really do it after that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Sad.
all good shows, all good episodes. But just watch your favorite TV show, whatever it might be.
Uh,
Um, Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I actually saw. We lost a picture. There we go. Internet's been boggled down, guys. They've reduced speeds to conserve server overload in certain areas. So,
That was my fault. My phone is running out of power, so I had to go into low power mode. It gave me the warning.
what? You're the one that said. So if you die out, um,
Yeah, we'll have to do this again. Sorry.
no, I'll continue on without you.
Yes, just go on without me.
Yeah, you should have plugged in your phone. You're the one that told me it was time.
I know. I didn't think it was that low.
Yeah, but good choice. I
Anyway,
mean, I like
yeah.
if I had to pick a TV show, honestly, that was long, that had really good moments in it, I would probably pick either Scrubs or Psych. Like
Okay.
two really good shows that have like great dramatic and great comedic moments.
Yeah, I never really saw Psych or heard anything about it, but I know about Scrubs. Everyone loves Scrubs.
You've never seen Psych? Psych is amazing. Psych is
No.
basically about a guy who is taught at a young age by his detective father to be hyper vigilant, to where he notices everything, everything, and like as he's gotten older, he's kind of like a flake, kind of a dropout. Like he's doesn't really do anything, but like he'll call in anytime the police are like, "Hey, we'll give you money for tips," like tip hotlines, and he'll call in and solve the case in like 2 minutes just to get the tip money. And so like
Wow.
he thought to himself,
Okay,
he's
that's
like, "Are you having issues?"
yeah. I could plug in my phone, but yeah,
But
not
like
going to work.
he figured that hey, I could probably do this for real, but their police department doesn't allow for random Joes to help them on police cases. So instead, he finds out that they allow consultants. So he decides to say that he's psychic. And he fools them because he is hyper vigilant. He can,
Right.
connect things and, see things more than what most people do. And he can be like Sherlock Holmes even, but like funny.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
And
sounds good.
it is. It's very hilarious. It's one of my favorite. Um, like, I guess detective show. I guess you could say because they solve crimes, but they're like sometimes zany crimes. Like it's like Scooby Doo and Sherlock Holmes meet like Monty Python at times, and it's fantastic. Yeah, that would be my pick. My pick, Psych. So
How long did it run?
7 seasons, but don't let me lie to you. So I'll go to the great internet who knows everything. Because oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Psych seasons. 8 seasons. It's done 8 seasons, and it's done um, one movie, and they're working on a second movie right now.
Cool.
Yeah, like I understand why they wanted to stop doing it. Because I mean, after 8 seasons, sometimes shows will get a little bogged down, and actors are like, "Well, I wanted to go do something else." You know,
Right.
it is what it is. Um, like two of my shows just recently lost um, major cast members just this week. Brandon
Wow.
Routh left Legends of Tomorrow, which was a fantastic show as well. Um, and then Denai Guerrera left Walking Dead just this past Sunday. So, yeah. People have to go on. People have to move on. They can't all
Right.
just stay in the same role and then die in it like Larry Hagman. But,
He did other stuff, Brad.
yeah, I know. But I'm just, when you're good at what you are, it's like Bruce Campbell. Everybody wants him to come back as Ash, and he's like, I don't really want to do that anymore, guys. I'm done.
Yeah.
So, you well, okay, so that's your TV show pick, and that's my TV show pick. Let's go on to some
Good.
movies.
Okay, movies. Um, you always want a good marathon. You can always find them in the horror genre. Um, you know, there's great series in the horror genre
Very
with the classics, Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser. They've got, you know,
huge
literally
catalog.
dozens. um, you want the newer ones in the Conjuring universe. They got good ones, Insidious, Paranormal Activity. I just went with Friday the 13th because it has the most sequels um, out of all of them. So
Had to
that's just
think
what I
there
put out.
for I had to think there for a second if it did have the most sequels, but you're right, it does.
I know I'm right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what was your favorite Friday the 13th movie?
My favorite was probably a toss up between what is it? Is it six where the psychic girl takes him on?
I th- I'm thinking, yeah, it's either 5 or 6. It's either 5 or 6. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. The psychic girl takes him on, and then Jason Goes to Hell.
Oh, I love Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't like it, but I because a lot of people didn't like it because it was different.
Yeah.
That's the reason I did like it because it was different.
hmm I feel the same way about like Jason X, Jason 10 or whatever,
I
where
liked
he's
it too.
he's in space. I loved it. Like people are
Yeah,
like, "Oh my god, it's so bad." I was like, "No, it knew exactly what it was. It knew what it was supposed to be." And they're just like, "You know what? We're going to go balls out and put Jason in space. There you go. That's it."
why
And it
not?
and it is exactly what it was.
Yeah,
And like they weren't trying to make anything artsy. They weren't trying to make anything special. They were just like, this is a guy that's immortal demon that goes around killing people with a machete, and now he's a cyborg.
right.
You know, like,
And now he's in space.
yeah,
Deal with it.
like I think that's perfect.
Yeah, I loved it.
Like, and then they made Freddy versus Jason, which was
I like Freddy versus.
outstanding. That one was
Yes.
fantastic. Which kind of makes me angry because there was talk of them making a second one,
Yeah.
and it never got around to it. I think because Robert Englund was kind of done. I know he's
Was it
talked about
that?
it. What? Yeah, he was in
He's
that.
not. Yeah, he was in that. I
Yeah.
said he's not done. He there's rumors of him talking about he's not done yet.
Yeah, I
And
know
wanting
that's.
to.
He's been like I've read the things that he's kind of like off and on. Like
Yeah.
he's like, well, yeah, I'll come back and do one. And like before, okay, so he came back on as Freddy in the TV show, The Goldbergs, because
Yes.
because
You
they,
watched it?
yeah, that was actually a pretty good episode.
It
Like,
was. It was
yeah,
great.
so I kind of enjoyed that. But like before then, he was like, I don't know if I'll make another Freddy movie. I think it was great. He is my iconic character, but I don't
Yeah.
know if we can tell the story right. And then so like they begged him and begged him, so he came back on for that little bitty stint on that show. And
Yeah.
then
And I
afterwards,
think that kind of
yeah,
revived it a little bit in him.
he was like, man, yeah, I'll come back. He's like, and then he was like, they're like, well, what about a Nightmare on Elm Street cartoon, like a grown up cartoon? And he's like, definitely, I would come back and voice Freddy for that. I would love to see
Yeah.
that because that'd be fantastic. Can you imagine like a Nightmare on Elm Street like adult animated cartoon that was just like the old Spawn cartoon that was just gore and scary, just like at its very core?
I don't know. Maybe I don't see them. They don't do a lot of those, and the ones they do aren't done well. Now Spawn was done very well, but it just never found its audience, and
There,
I don't think people would be on board with that.
you need to. That's it's true. In that style, you need to watch. There are some really, and I mean really good anime horror TV shows that are like fantastically done.
I know. I
That is,
I know of them. I'm not as into anime as you are, though.
I know. I'm just trying to say like that genre can hit. They just have to.
Yeah, it's just a very niche audience. So
Yeah. They've actually got one coming out on Cartoon Network pretty soon. Um, Cartoon Network picked up the rights to Spiral, uh, originally done by Junji Ito. Um, very black and white, very gore ridden. Um, everything's like surreal. Uh, it's supposed to be really good, and they're keeping the same aesthetic as the manga, where everything's still black and white, but it's like the way it's done is just so like eerie. and that's supposed to be coming out here pretty soon. So that might be something to look into. It's on Cartoon Network for their Adult Swim.
Right.
Okay, so good long horror series. You picked Friday the 13th, which was great. We talked about Nightmare on Elm Street. I would really like. I have the entire catalog of Stephen King because they put them on DVD.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say uh, The Shining, like long runtime Shining, and then you get Doctor Sleep, which just came out recently. Which, if you have not seen Doctor Sleep, I'm
Is it
I
good?
I'm telling you right now, you need to see that. Especially
Oh,
if at any point in your time you are like Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is one of the greatest movies of all time. If you have ever said that at any point in time in your life, Doctor Sleep is like, oh, here's some more Stanley Kubrick.
okay, that's cool. So they really pay homage to the original.
They got people who looked like all the characters to come back and redo some scenes so it connects this story to that one. And then they took and made I don't want they didn't take old footage, but they remade the footage in certain areas the
That's
exact
cool.
same way with new technology and everything else.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's so creepy. Like there are parts of it where you're like, yes, this is exactly the way it should be. And then there are parts where it kind of deviates, and then you see the underlying change in tone that Stephen King has done with a lot of his books recently. And you're like, okay, well, there's definite Stephen King, where it's not so much scare tactics anymore. It's like just the difference in people. Like if you go back and you read like a lot of Stephen King books, and you go from like early on, a lot of them are like dark horror, as much as he can get. And then as you've gone closer to what it is now, it's more like um, people can be superheroes in the end, you know, like the
Right.
gunslinger and stuff like that. And it's a really nice sort of change of pace.
Oh, well, I really think that Stephen King was just trying to jump on the superhero bandwagon, though, with that.
Oh no, not at all, not at all.
Well, you just said yourself that people can be superheroes at the very end of all of his movies and books.
That was way before the superhero bandwagon was even there.
I don't
The
know.
the original Gunslinger book was published what 84 somewhere on the, I'm gonna look that up now. I'm gonna look that up because that's got me.
I thought that was. I thought you were talking about. Didn't he a character in one of his newer books, though?
Yeah, the Gunslinger trilogy. He is a character. It's very meta. Well, it's not trilogy. It's like 6 books.
And it's called The Gunslinger.
It's a 1987 was the second one. I don't know where I can't. Gunslinger published date. Uh, but yeah, it's several books.
All right. Well, I'll concede.
Yeah, the second one, the Dark Tower 2, was published in
Dark
19.
Tower. That's what.
Yeah,
Dark Tower.
uh, the Dark Tower is the overarching name. Gunslinger's the first one. Drawing of the Three is the second one. Wizard and Glass is 4. But yeah, 1982 was when Dark Tower the Gunslinger was published.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. For
before I
some
was,
reason, I always thought that the newer book.
yeah. Oh no. The newest one that he had actually done was 2011. He had done a bit extra, and I think that was really kind of like the last one. Like they did a comic book series out of it afterwards, uh, sort of thing like that. So, but yeah, Doctor Sleep, The Shining, long run time, great. Like start from The Shining, go through Doctor Sleep, the director's cut. Get the director's cut always. Just like with Lord of the Rings, you want that
Oh yeah.
extended cut.
Right.
Okay. Long run times, great, great, and it never really changes tone, in my opinion. Uh, from The Shining, because the director Doctor Sleep really looked at the tone that Stanley Kubrick set for his movie.
Yeah,
So something that you should really look into.
I will. No, I do want to see it. It's on my list.
So what's your next one?
My next one is you can't go wrong. Speaking of superheroes, you can't go wrong with just starting with Iron Man and just watching all the Marvel movies.
Oh yeah, that's like a week right there.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So that would you know knock off like you said a week of quarantine time in of itself, just watching the Marvel movies. So I have Iron Man here,
Yeah,
and if you want to dumb yourself down and watch the DC movies, you can do that too. But I would go with better quality.
I would go with the animated DC universe.
Yes, I thought about yeah, I thought about pulling those out too. But those just have so many different universes though. You could go with the originals or the newer ones they've done. Um, they have different universes, but they are, if you don't want to be picky, you can just watch them all.
Which reminds me, they're having another Justice League Dark coming out.
Are they?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
Well,
another thing I got out of Brad. I really, not just in TV shows and movies, but that's another one I've fallen out of. I haven't seen I think the last animated one I saw was, what was it? It was one of the, it was one of the Son of Batman ones
oh yeah.
where Damien's the character.
hmm
So I haven't seen any since then. Like
They did.
I know that new
Yeah, they did three of those where Damien's kind of like the lead character.
right.
Um, and learning on that one. They did three Teen Titans, which those Teen Titan movies were good, really good. I know they just released Superman: The Red Sun, which was basically Flashpoint.
Yeah,
Uh,
that looks good.
oh yeah, it's
Aren't
fantastic.
they planning on doing a few of those alternate reality ones?
Yeah, I think so because they've done a couple of the Batman ones already, the alternate reality ones, like the Samurai
That like
Batman one.
Gotham by Gaslight.
Yeah, that one was good. Gotham by Gaslight was fantastic. They did the
Yeah.
Asian one though, and that one was just weird.
It was weird.
Like I understand what they were trying to do, but it was just kind of weird.
Yeah.
The Justice League Dark though, that series, which this will make the second one that's going to be coming out soon, is really good. Very harkens back to the original like setup of how the movies were done. So like, there's nothing weird in it. It's just it brings back some old favorite characters that aren't in mainstream. So you've got like Constantine, you've got Swamp Thing, Zantana, people like that. So you're gonna cough. Are you okay? Do you need to go to the doctor? And then you got muted, so I can't hear a single thing you just said. Like legitly. No, I can't hear you at all. Is your phone dying? Yeah, nope. Nothing's coming through, bud. Nothing. Did you accidentally hit mute? No. Okay. I can read your lips though. So tell me a secret that only I can see with your lips. I don't know either. Is that a Golden Girls t-shirt that you're wearing? Yes. That's great. That's fantastic. That is actually fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. Uh, it's my fault. I mean, yeah. I mean, usually it is. I mean, now you're starting to sound like my ex-wife. So keep on that bandwagon right there. Hold on a second. I'm gonna try to mute. So you can't hear me now, right? I muted myself, so you can't hear me. Yeah. Okay, I did that on purpose. I can say whatever I wanted. Please don't tell him. Uh, Yeah, we may have to end the call and try again. You want to call back? We'll call back. I don't know what the problem was. It may have just been,
The magic of editing.
yes, yeah. I had to like sacrifice some kittens, so I edited all that out. But we finally got it up and running.
Okay, sorry about
But
that, folks.
it's
So
okay. Nobody's gonna miss
moving
kittens.
on.
All right, moving on. What's your next pick?
Okay, this is a quite a long movie series. Well, I think they have 8 or 9 movies. I mentioned it before on our series episode. If you haven't seen it, you should. They're great movies. But it's the Jesse Stone series with Tom Selleck. This is the first one, Stone Cold. It's where he plays a small town cop in Massachusetts that solves crimes and stuff. He's a really, no bullshit, tough cop from Los Angeles that goes there. He's he's like an alcoholic, yeah, trying to get over his divorce. That old chestnut.
How many movies are in it?
I think 8 or 9.
It's not bad. It's Tom
Yeah,
Selleck too, so
all,
you really can't go wrong.
right. All made for TV movies. They're really great. He's supposed to be doing one more. He had a 2-picture deal with Hallmark.
Oh yeah, of
Um,
course.
yeah, and so he did one a few years back. He's supposed to be doing one more. So,
Hallmark.
but it's not your usual Hallmark bullcrap
Yeah,
movie. It's
I mean,
a lot.
yeah, I believe it.
Take
Oh,
my word for it, people, not Brad's, that these are good movies. Okay.
yeah, take his, not mine. Um, I'll go with mine. Blade Runner. Both of them, one and two, the newest one that just came out. Put them together.
Which
Fan.
cut? There's there's like 5 or 6 cuts of Blade Runner.
Well, the last one that just came out was really good. I have that on DVD.
Yeah.
So just put them all together. Put them both together. I mean, it's that's about 4 hours right there wasted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought about popping that in earlier, but I just like no, I'll play games instead, which is why I have a video that just got uploaded. So Blade Runner is my, like I love the cyberpunk sort of thought in a lot of things, but I like it better in games almost. And I feel like Blade Runner was really like the one of the first sort of adaptations of that genre that had been written before.
Yeah.
And then everything else in the entire like backbone of that genre is like, oh yeah, I could see that happening in Blade Runner.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I got you.
and so I think that's fantastic. And then the new one that just came out, it really it continued on that stream, so like it didn't even feel like you had left the movie because when you do sequels, it's really kind of hard if you don't get a director that knows and loves the original. Like
Yeah.
we've talked before about how writers and directors have to love what it is that they're doing for it to be
It
great.
helps.
Yeah,
Great
it really
deal.
does.
Yeah.
And I really feel like you know they did in this case. So, did
It
you
was
ever
all
see?
right. I mean, it was better than I thought.
It's okay.
I mean, it was hard to do.
Yes, it was. It was. But I liked it. I thought it was very good. But of course, I was watching Ghost in the Shell around then too, which was really good. I know you're not an anime fan, but like Battle Angel Alita came out with a live action a little ago, which I've talked about before on here. That's fantastic. Talk about cyberpunk there. Oof. Graphics are just phenomenal. But okay, what's your next one?
My next one is this is the longest series I could think of, and I was trying to
Uh
think
oh.
of a long movie series. Can you guess what it is? What movie series has the most sequels of
Jeez,
any other movies?
I don't know. Honestly.
Not necessarily sequel, but
I really don't know because you know. Oh, okay, yeah, I can see that. But
Double O
like,
Seven,
I
James
don't.
Bond.
How many are there?
Like 20?
Is there
Didn't
like?
they just get finished making 20th movie? Or there might, I think there might be even more than that. Like, there's a lot.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, but Doctor No, this was the first one with Sean Connery. And if you're going to have a long marathon, you can't go wrong with James Bond.
Well, you're wrong, Zach. It wasn't 20. It was 26.
26. Yeah. Wow.
26. Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually, to be honest, I haven't seen them all. I've only
Yeah, me
actually
neither.
seen a few. I've only seen a few of the originals. I've seen all the Pierce Brosnan ones. He's my favorite Bond. I haven't seen one of the new ones with Daniel Craig.
They're they're different, but they're good. They're more action packed. He's not like him as an actor is not a. Uh
Yeah.
oh.
I'm not a.
Okay. I thought I lost you there for a second. Say.
Did you? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but it's delayed.
Okay.
It'll be
We're
all
to
right.
this again. Great.
Yeah. It's okay. You look like a spaghetti western right now, so it's all right. But like I don't know. Like the Daniel Craig ones aren't bad because he's not a bad actor. They're written different compared to like the Pierce Brosnan ones, even or even like the Sean Connerys and stuff like that. But I don't know. Like when they brought Pierce Brosnan, they started to go a lot more actiony. You know, big explosions and stuff like that, and kind of like Daniel Craig, it's just like made it more so, except he's like more fit. So,
Yeah.
I don't know. I like him better in things that are not Bond. Is that weird?
No. No, it's not weird.
Because I think he's a great actor. I like him better in things that he's not playing James Bond.
Right.
And it's kind of like imagine talk about 26 movies. Imagine going back from the very first Doctor Who and watching it all the way up to the newest episodes.
That's a good one to binge. Yeah.
Yeah,
From
that's
the
like
very start.
there's a month right there, buddy. Like 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
You know,
Least.
you're first to the
Yeah.
first season. That, though some of the seasons are kind of hit and miss. Always with TV shows that kind of run along the same pathway. This newest
Right.
one has its episodes, but some of them aren't good, but some of them aren't bad. You know, but yeah,
I've never seen a Doctor Who. I'm not anti Doctor Who. I just never seen him. It'd be too late to go back now. I'd never catch up.
I mean, you could skip certain doctors.
That's what my son Wes says.
Your son Wes is getting to be a wise man
Yeah,
when it comes to Doctor Who. So
yeah, yeah. Those are my picks. I'm all.
I mean, those are some really good choices. Those are the ones, like the saddest part is that in the end, even after I've picked all those and I'd like to watch and sit down through them through a quarantine type situation that I'm in right now, I've got too much to do. Too many games to play.
Hey, man. Yeah.
So I probably won't even get to any of them. Like I've got to still get caught up on Supergirl. I'm like 7 episodes behind on that. I like that TV show, okay? So sue me. The CW DC shows are actually really good.
So I've heard. I wish I could do their movies as well.
I mean, yeah. Did you hear about the Crisis on Infinite Earths like thing that they did for CW where they
Right? Yeah.
retconned everything that's ever been written?
Yeah. I really liked how they got Kevin Conroy as Batman Beyond.
Oh,
I thought that was amazing.
like everybody's wanted that for like how long now, and then they got to see it in flesh, and
Yeah,
they're like, yes, why this needs to happen like right now, like you could do this,
right.
like come on now, like this is a fantastic idea. Why is nobody even funding this now?
Yeah,
Because literally, he could be that could be Batman Beyond right there, Kevin Conroy. Just get some random off the street kid to play the kid, and there you go, show done.
yeah.
You know? They retconned the original Batman movies. Do you remember? Did you read up on that? Because I know you didn't watch the show.
I've seen snippets on YouTube of the different things they did.
Hmm. Oh yeah, but they retconned the movies too, because like Flash goes into the Speed Force, and he meets up with the Flash from the movie, and they're like, "Whoa, who are you?" And he's like, "Well, I'm Barry Allen." And he's like, "No, no, I'm Barry Allen." And they're like, "Whoa," and it just sort of dissipates. So it's a really kind of cool thing, you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
But now they're all on Earth Prime because there's no more multi Earths, just one. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But now they can link up all the shows. But they even linked up shows that they don't own, like the Teen Titans shows that DC owns and they make,
yeah.
because now they leads it to where they could just be like, oh yeah, you want Robin to come over and see Superman and Supergirl? Let's go ahead and bring him over. It leaves them open,
That's cool.
you know.
You found a loophole, I guess, huh?
Yep. I think it was fantastic. Like the that entire series was great. So the CW DC shows are really something to watch. So,
Yeah,
but,
I've heard they're really good.
but there you go, guys. Those are our quarantine picks, pictures. One of those things. Uh,
Pictures,
if you're
quarantine
having
choices for
right,
tape.
if you're having trouble figuring out what to do during this time of crisis in the entire world, or you may just end up destroyed because hey, we're all dead from the pandemic. Uh, you know, if you watch all my videos, I've got several on here you can watch. A lot of them with Zach here. See that beautiful face of his? His wife is a very lucky woman to see that every morning.
The mirror is lucky too.
That's right.
Huh?
That's right. Yeah. If I was gay, no, I'm just,
No,
maybe. I
you'd
mean,
be first on my list.
thank you. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. The rest of my year is made. I could die a happy man now. No, I'm just- but there you go, guys. Hopefully, we'll get more of these done. We can go back to doing once a week. What do you think?
I'd love it.
Okay. We may switch up a couple of things too, because like I said, I'm off, so we may just have conversations.
I
No
wish we
more.
could fix this muting problem that we have and this damn delay too. You need to get on that, find out what's going on. It's your fault.
And it's probably my fault, but it's the internet. That's all it is. Pretty much. But all right, guys. Zach, is there anything that you would like to say?
Yes, forgive the delay, but as I always say, support your art because without art, the world would be even suckier than it already is now. And you can catch my videos, please, at Movie Messiah on YouTube.
Yeah. You know what?
Cynical bastard.
I'll go ahead and link your YouTube channel in the description for you. All
Thank
right.
you. Appreciate it.
Always. All right, guys. Remember, always be kind to each other. And we'll see you in the next one.